Great, so welcome back to Grade 7 Math. We are now on Chapter 6.4, 6.5 on addition and subtraction of integers, but this is Part B of the lesson, so which means you should have watched the Part A of the lesson first, just so you get an idea of what we're doing with addition and subtraction of integers in Grade 7. So now we're going to look at a little bit more complicated examples when we're going to add and subtract integers, so we'll look at different signs in there. So let's take and using the number line. So let's start this with this first example, plus 4 plus 5. It's a very standard example with a lot of positives in it, which means it'll start off as our easy example. What this basically means is if we take the example of starting at positive 4, so we're starting at 4 degrees outside, and then we increase our temperature by 5 degrees, what will our temperature be at the end of that? Well, so let's break it down. Let's break this problem down into each part. So the first part tells you where we start, the first number. So the first number is at positive 4. So that means if I take Bob and I move him into our little number line, I suggest that you take another piece of paper just so that you can write down this number line at your own, on your own, so that you're used to drawing number lines on your own without me having to provide that for you. So positive 4 is here. Now we see this middle sign means what operation does Bob want to do? So in this case, he wants to add. So which means he'll be facing towards the right. So he'll be facing towards the right in the positive direction. He's facing to the right. Now the third sign or the second number, so this plus 5 means with the direction that he's facing, he wants to move up 5 steps, or he wants to move 5 steps forward. So that's what this third sign means, is the direction of movement. So because it's that positive sign, he's going to be moving forwards. I'll just abbreviate it FWD to mean forward. So he's moving 5 forward. So this is Bob. He moves 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He ends up at positive 9. Okay, a pretty standard example, nothing too complicated. Let's look at the second example now of plus 4 plus negative 5. So the first number always will tell us what we're starting at. So we're starting at positive 4 again. So Bob will be drawn at positive 4. The second sign indicates which direction does he want to move. So in this case, he wants to move forward. So he wants to move to the right. Not forward, sorry. He wants to move to the right. So I'm going to face his hat to the right again. Now we have a tricky third sign. This means he's going to be stepping in a different direction that he wants to be moving in. So which means he's facing forward, but he's stepping backwards, because now he is this negative 5 means 5 steps ago, or where was he 5 steps ago? So which means he have to move backwards to think about how was he stepping 5 steps ago. So it means 5 steps ago he was here at negative 1. So the solution to positive 4 plus negative 5 means that I started at positive 4, I'm facing addition, but 5 steps ago, which means if I had retracted my steps or moved back in time 5 steps, where was I? I was at negative 1. So that's what that negative means. Let's look at the next example here. The next example is plus 4 minus positive 5. So try to predict where he'll be and what direction he'll be facing and what direction he'll be moving. So if we start again with the first number, he starts at positive 4. Great, so I think we got that settled. He's at positive 4. Now we have a second sign. This second sign is subtraction, which means he wants to move to the left because it's negative. So I'll draw Bob now facing the left because it's a subtraction problem. Now, the third sign means, again, he's moving forward in that direction. So he'll continue to move forward in the left-hand direction because he's moving forward in time almost. So he's moving forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Bob now ends up at negative 1. Notice how the answers to the second and third problem are the same, but I drew them differently. The second one was an addition problem. He's moving forward, but he wants to move forward, but where was he in the past or 5 steps ago? He's basically stepping backwards. The next one is he's facing the left-hand side and he's moving forwards. In both cases, he still ends up in the same place. The last problem, +4 minus -5. So again, we start off at +4. So we'll draw Bob again here. Which way is he facing? Well, the second sign tells me that he's facing to the left because it's a subtraction problem. So because of this one, he wants to move to the left. The third sign, though, tells me what direction he's actually moving because he's facing the left, but I'm asking 5 steps ago, or if he steps backwards 5 steps, where was he, or where will he be if he steps backwards 5 steps? So if I'm 4 and I'm facing to the right, I'm facing my negative side, and I move backwards, I'm actually moving, increasing in number. So 5 steps up from 4 is 9 again. So now he's moving backwards. Oops. And he ends up at +9. So that one's really tricky. When you look at these signs, know what the middle sign means. The middle sign indicates which direction I'm facing, and then the last sign would indicate the actual direction of movement. So if it's forwards or backwards from where he's standing. There are 4 other questions that are there on the page. What I'd like you to do is to try out these 4 questions, looking at where you're starting at, where he's facing, and what direction he's moving, and what answer you would provide for there. So this will be my proof, your proof to me that you've watched the video. Try out these 4 examples, and then we'll go over that in class. So hopefully you